Hello, so you guys may know that I made this game called Trâm 3 years ago. And so I wondered to myself, why don't I make a sequel? So here are what I've got in the first half of this year with Trâm 2. I started with Game Maker's RPG tutorial. Game Maker is free and I'll be able to work with sequences, which is helpful for future fight mechanism. Thanks Gurpreet for your easy to understand tutorial. Then I got to design Trâm in her apartment. To temporarily build a playground for her, I downloaded a free tile set model from Self-Boys. Moving forward, however, I'll be designing my own tile set, but thanks for the head start, I finally built Trâm's townhouse and all her friends, except for that dude in the left. This is her kitchen for now. I think the kitchen station looks really rigid, and I do prefer furniture design in Deltarune. Nevertheless, I will keep pursuing the gridlock design to keep the game's look consistent altogether. I managed to create a dialogue system that supports Vietnamese. It was basic and a little faulty, but it will be updated over time as I bring new features. I also made a camera object that follows Trâm and stops following her once she reaches a certain distance from the border of the room. I intended to save the game through any reflective object such as a mirror. It took me a while to learn how to make reflection using surface. Here's a temporary mini screen. It is still like this as of this video. This is my first prototype of the inventory system. Currently, the inventory can be accessed along with the player's stat in the settings. Here's an example of getting an item and viewing in the inventory. Next is an NPC following system. At first, all the characters are jammed together. Damn you sticky keys! Anyways, to make this system possible, I created two arrays storing Trâm's X and Y. The followers simply retrieve these coordinates after a delay depending on the order in the line. The sprites used to not match with the directions the characters go, but I patched it. As you can see, the sequel to Trâm is situated in an escape room. Why? The friends want to hang out after their junior year ended. So what would be better than doing something that used to be challenged? Stay tuned for the demo. Now you can access each person's profile and utilize their stats. Fun fact, I designed this UI on a train ride. The scenery was beautiful. Oh, forgot to credit some of my friends who helped with important design. First, the characters' profile pictures were drawn by Calliste. You better follow her on Blue Sky, and mine too, even though I'm really active. And second, the font is designed by someone none other than TB, who made this movie, this series. In the background music you're listening right now, you better subscribe to his YouTube channel. Let's see what I have with the escape room puzzles. For this project, I want the puzzles not to be filled with a random cipher you have to go look up on the internet. So this is a safe with a code randomly generated. Every run gives a different code you have to decipher. Once you crack this safe, you will get a purple key and 2 laser guns. I continue to spread items and clues in various interactive objects in the escape room, so make sure not to miss any object when you try out my demo. One of the hardest puzzles to program is this randomly generated pipes puzzle. The generation process took me through 2 weeks, then another week for controlling. Other than that, this puzzle is very fun to solve. Sometimes the generation process takes longer than expected, so it's leading a cutscene to keep you hooked, but it should finish within 30 seconds. Another less demanding task is to animate characters in certain scenarios, such as this couple selling dog rice. I want these brief cutscenes to incur these characters' personality. You'll get a lot of them in this demo. It's another puzzle with the bookcase. I can't believe I dedicated a lot of time to designing the book's cover and content. So here's William Shakespeare, literally, and top 100 fruits, but most of them are pear cultivars, LOL. With almost 2,000 lines of cutscenes and 1,000 more lines of dialogues, the game is nowhere to be done. However, I have spent the first half of this year engineering the cutscene system, so making cutscenes will be much faster from now on. That said, thanks for watching and let's freaking touch some grass.